If you are currently either a professional or an inspiring artist, filmmaker, musician, dancer, anyone who's working in the arts, then chances are someone or many people throughout your life have been creative monsters. These are people who have discouraged you or told you things like, it's so competitive, do you really think you can make it?
I just want to talk to you about haters for a second, because we all got them.
Your creativity, your freedom, your delightful sense of fun and adventure, your spirit are held back and held down because of the unfortunate comments.
Keep your head down, follow the rules, do as you're told, play it safe.
If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person.
The time of our life is so short, and how we spend it, are we spending it doing what's important to us? Most of us not.
Or they've just told you you're not good enough. Not that many people actually become successful in this, and maybe you should try something different. Something along those lines, either very directly or indirectly. Or you told them your dream and they kind of look at you, not with a face of excitement and encouragement, but just, oh. And it makes me wonder why these people don't think, like, yes, maybe they can tell you it is really hard, you have to work really hard at it, and it is very competitive, but you can do it. Why is it that they tell you that you can't do it? What I've realized in this is most of the time people are just projecting their own insecurities onto you. Maybe they have tried it in the past and it didn't work out for them, and then they end up stuck in a 9-to-5 job that they hate. Or on the other hand, maybe they just never had the courage to try themselves and they see you going for it and they wish it was them. I had to move because the sun was directly behind me. But anyway, in reading the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, which I've mentioned before in previous videos, it's been so inspirational to me and so healing in my own creative journey. And I wanted to share this because I think we all over our lives collect these moments. It could be from family members, it could be from friends, it could be from people who are close to us in our lives that really affect us negatively. And I feel like I've had a very strong sense of self, that I've known who I am and I know what brings me joy and fulfillment. Whatever you love to do, you know yourself better than other people do, and that's something I've realized kind of later on in life. And doing this, doing The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, she writes how it is always necessary to acknowledge creative injuries and grieve them. Otherwise, they become creative scar tissue and block your growth. I kind of went back through my own life and did an inventory of all the times in which someone in my life has hurt me creatively. And it goes back to childhood. I'm thinking of when I was younger, I loved painting these rocks, and I would collect rocks. Some of them were big that I would kind of think of as like garden decorations, and I would paint them and give them to my grandma to put in her garden as a decoration, or even little stones that I would paint to give to other kids. And I loved it, and I would paint these little ladybug designs. I would get a rock and just paint it red, and then paint the dots and the eyes and the eyelashes, or however I would design it. And I loved doing this. It was just my fun creative project. And I remember at one point someone told me, it was maybe later on, they were like, so Melanie, are you still painting those bug rocks? It kind of like in a smirking way, and in one sentence, in one moment, it could go from me being so excited about what I was doing, loving my beautifully painted ladybug rocks, to, oh, they're just stupid, why are you even doing that, kind of messaging. And that can really impact you in a way of like, oh, well, I was really excited about this, but maybe it is just stupid, maybe they are just dumb bug rocks. You know, the way that someone says something to you can really impact you in that way. And then when you get older, I remember going to college, and I was in my college dorm, and I met this guy, and we were just talking like, oh, what's your major? What are you doing? And I told him my major was a BFA major in electronic design and multimedia. And he was like, oh, what is that? And I was telling him it was like you could do graphic design, you could do animation, you could do illustration, you could choose the focus that you wanted to do. There was video, there was motion graphics. A lot of people in the major would choose one of those. And I remember when I told him that, he laughed. And I was just kind of like, what's so funny? Like, why is that funny? And he was like, oh, sorry, I just didn't know that was a thing. To have someone actually laugh in your face and then tell you like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing, in such a mocking way could cause someone to think, wow, maybe it is stupid, maybe I shouldn't major in this. I've had other people say, I remember there was someone else who was like, you know, I would be a graphic design major, but it's just not practical. You could hear comments like this and take it to heart and think, wow, maybe it is stupid, or maybe it's, you know, really competitive and hard. But I never let that stop me. But I kind of acknowledge these things people have said in the past and think, wow, that is a source of pain, that I didn't let it like block me and stop me from doing what I wanted to do. But the pain, you still remember how you felt in that moment of someone telling you that, of like actually laughing in your face. But yeah, I think in all of our lives we have those creative monsters in whatever form it might be. But we also have the people who have positively encouraged us. I think it's also equally important to list out all of the positive encouragements in our life, to be aware of both, and then to realize to not let the opinions of others stop us from doing what we want to do. I asked members of my family recently, has there ever been anyone in your life who has been a creative monster to you?
In 1986 or 87, I was an Army officer serving as a personnel officer at a unit, and my boss would often have me draft up letters for him to sign. And on one or two occasions he said to me that I couldn't write. And I did not believe him, so that was a good thing, and it didn't affect me. But what happens when something does affect you? So in the year 2000, I wanted to create a CD. And I said, oh, I'm going to create a CD and I will be the narrator of it. And a really good friend whose opinion I highly valued said, oh, you don't have a good voice for that. You should get Jane Seymour, someone famous, whatever, to do that. And guess what? 7 years later, I finally did it. I waited 7 years because I believed her at that time. And I did this CD, Your Body, Your Birth. I'm so proud of it. It has helped many, many people. And my 18-year-old son at the time, Rob, produced it. So just imagine, that was 7 years a little late. Another time, if I would have believed people who said I couldn't write or couldn't speak, I would not have created this. I've created a few, and so I've written about 10 books, and this is one of them. This is a program, Speaking Made Easy. This is a public speaking program I created for 10 to 13-year-olds, and in the homeschool community, I was the main instructor for this program. And do you know, 2 of my students, I haven't kept in touch with everybody, at least 2 went on to do tremendous things. One did a TED Talk. She went to UVA at age 14. She got into Stanford. I think she graduated at 18 or 19. Master's degree, PhD, and she's big in her field in the tech world out in California. And another guy went through Duke University, some kind of engineering or something. So imagine if I listened to somebody who told me I couldn't write, I couldn't speak, I would not have created something which has then really the most important thing is the trickle-down effect. Has your work affected other people? And another book I wrote in 1996, this was like my main book that I wrote, 1998 it came out, Unassisted Home Birth, and that book has changed many, many lives, even to the point where when I used to go on Facebook and someone would say, oh, list the top 10 books of all times that have changed your life. And I had like a couple of people put the Bible, they put classics, and they put my book on there. So I guess just what I want to say is, when it comes to creativity, you need to follow your own path and not let somebody else's opinion influence you. And is their opinion valid? It's not, it's just their opinion.
And it's good to not let these things stop us. So that's my message for today. I hope that everyone can pursue your creativity, not let it stop you, not listen to the creative monsters. Something I forgot to mention is that everyone who leaves hate comments on YouTube, if you click and go to their channel, chances are, like 100% of the time, they have 0 uploads, they don't make videos themselves, they're just anonymous, they don't have a picture. They're people who aren't doing what you're doing and what you love to do, and that's something I have to remind myself of. There was actually one point, I never actually said this publicly, but I think it was like 2013 or 2014. It was a year I kind of stopped making videos. I mean, I've always made videos throughout the years, but I kind of stopped making vlogs consistently showing myself and my face. There was one time someone posted such a mean, hurtful comment. I will never forget how I felt reading this, because at the time, no one commented on my videos. There was one comment on one of my videos, and it was such a negative comment. No one ever said positive things. There was just one. I don't even remember to this day what exactly they said, but I just remember it was so hurtful when I read it, and it just cut into such a deep insecurity. It was such a detailed negative comment, and I stopped making videos for a while because of it. And then there was a point in my life when I realized, wow, I love making videos. Why did I stop? That's so sad that I let this one person's opinion stop me from what I love to do. And then I started making videos again. I don't remember when exactly this all happened, but yeah, it just made me realize, why am I stopping from doing something that I love to do? And I just don't want anyone else to fall into that too. Don't let some random person on the internet who doesn't make videos themselves, they don't actually know you, and we know ourselves better than anyone else knows us. Like, we only know our deepest desires and happiness and joy and fulfillment and what brings us joy, and we shouldn't let other people stop us from doing that. Another thing to remember with these creative monsters in your life are whoever's telling you, whoever's discouraging you from pursuing a certain major or going into the arts or whatever career path it is that you want to pursue. They might think it's crazy, they might think it's unrealistic or stupid or you'll never succeed, but at the end of the day, they're not the ones who are sitting at that desk that you'll be sitting at 40 hours a week, 40 plus hours a week, doing whatever job you're doing. You might listen to these people and pursue a path that you don't want to do just because they told you to, and you might end up miserable and hating your job and hating your life, as so many people do, going to a job you're not passionate about, falling into this path, waking up at like 40 something years old, realizing, wow, I want to start over. And the truth is, you can start over. It's never too late to start over. So whatever position you find yourself in, if you're just starting your career, going to college now, or maybe you're stuck in this, you feel like you're stuck in a position, it's never too late. A lot of people think your teens and 20s, you choose a college major and you're kind of set in that path the rest of your life, but that could not be farther from the truth. And yeah, I think it's really good to remember that we still have tons of time left, and whatever age you're at now, you're still living and breathing, and you have tomorrow, and tomorrow is a new day. That's all for today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos every time I post. And keep creating. Don't let anyone stop you. Not your friends, not your family, not random strangers on the internet. And I'll see you in my next video.